Then your sword may as well be in its scabbard, because you will not wield it effectively.
Oh? I didn't think I would see you here.
Are these two your friends?
Yes, we had the fortune of meeting not too long ago. They are quite a knowledgeable and talented pair, and a pleasure to be around. Traveler, we were just discussing the history of Rex Lapis. Would you like to listen?
This, good sir, seems not to appreciate the almighty power of the Lord of Geo. As a professional archaeologist, we are discussing the whereabouts of the
first Mora?
As everyone knows, the Lord of Geo taught the ancient people of Liyue the craft of smelting, creating goods that allowed them to today. Liyue holds the sole right to cast Mora in the entire continent of Teyvat.
According to my research, as well as my own hypothesis, I believe that this coin of for example, perhaps the Qixing who control the Liyue use it in some kind of unknown ceremony that—
No. My research indicates that the first Mora coin, Mora is a catalyst. This we all know. Even today, Mora is used in the mystic arts for its curious properties of the world's first Mora would no doubt possess the strongest power. My next historical treatise will boldly expound on the newest that is, that the Lord of Geo used this original Mora as a catalyst.
A dagger and a sword?
Well, buy the book when it comes out to read the full story. For now, I will only reveal this. The one who finds the dagger shall become supreme in Liyue, and the one who finds the sword may be crowned Liyue's sovereign.
I can't say I agree. Let us not speak of the authenticity of the dagger and sword first. But Mora and money came about simply because they are a convenient measure of a contract's value. Rex Lapis just meant for Mora to serve as a catalyst for people to exchange. The world's first Mora is probably just an ordinary coin created by Rex Lapis. As for its fate, the same as all Mora, I suspect.
I think that Mr. Hanshua's hypothesis seems reasonable. Mr. Zhongli's argument, on the other hand, lacks any evidence. How can you so easily dismiss the Lord of Geo's profound foresight?
No, I am not debating right or wrong. I am simply stating a fact.
Enough! Do you think you understand the Lord of Geo more than me?
I know but little about history, and I wouldn't dare to brag. But discussion is meaningless if everyone has the same opinion, no?
Well then, answer me this. Long ago, when Liyue Harbor was being constructed, the Lord of Geo taught the people how to build houses.
That is correct, indeed.
Okay, then tell me. Why would the Lord of Geo do something so extravagant, if not because of the mystical power that Mora—
There's a simple explanation, really. To the god of wealth and commerce, what material is easier to get than Mora? I mean, I am talking about Rex Lapis.
Excuse me, sir. Of course. They can come if that's what— What I'm about to say is a bit disrespectful of the Lord of Geo and would draw a lot of angry looks. Your argument just now exhibited acuteness of speech and thought. Most importantly, you don't... So I have a question for you. Perhaps you will answer differently from other scholars.
Let's not analyze it in terms of good versus evil. Rex Lapis placed great importance on the
Right! The Lord of Geo wouldn't kill the innocent.
But when I was doing some research, I learned about the legend of the god of salt. The god of salt, Havria, was a very kind god. But she encountered Morax one day in battle. Morax used a rather underhanded trick to...
What? No way!
This bit of history is a long story.
Don't worry, please tell me what you know. This event...
No, it's just... Where should I begin?
Over here! Mr. Zhongli! I've been looking for you. So you're over...
Put down your weapon and stay back. Otherwise... Paimon's...
First of all, I'm not holding a weapon. There's no need to overreact now. I'm simply an archaeological research...
The Fatui say that every time.
But this time, I registered with the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs. I will be conducting an archaeological survey here. The results... I heard that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor had a consultant named Zhongli, with immense knowledge of ancient history and archaeology. So I paid Wangsheng Funeral Parlor a handsome amount.
So you mean to say that this is work for the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor? Yeah. Well, since it's work, I don't have a choice.
Of course you would be such a reasonable man. Well then, let's head out now, shall we?
Wait, if you are studying archaeology, can I go too? I am also a scholar in this field.
That will give us a chance to continue the topic we were just discussing. Oh, and you should tag along too. This experience may be of help to you on your future adventure. It is a story from before the rise of the Seven. Although the god of salt has already perished, it will still be a meaningful experience for your journey.
Wait. This is an archaeological expedition, not a tour group. That's too many people.
But this friend of mine has a treasure-finding talent, surpassed by no one. It will
Oh? What talent?
If my friend espies a treasure chest, they will absolutely find a way to open it.
Hey, Paimon's good at that too.
Well, that is quite enticing. Well, let's go. There's no time to waste. When the Overlord of the Vortex was crushed by the Jade Chamber recently, an ancient artifact would be good. Traces of ancient activity. This place looks so ordinary. Can we really find anything?
Huh? Paimon thinks it looks really grand.
I don't mean the scenery, but rather that there should be something out of the ordinary.
Guyan Stone Forest is actually the perfect place to be, if you wish to learn about the gods or the history of the Archon War. Legend has it that Rex Lapis threw spears made of large rock into the sea here, piercing and crushing the... After many years of wind erosion, those stone spears have turned into the unique rock formations we see now.
These mountains were the Lord of Geo's weapons?
What we see now is just the part of them that remains. The stone spears hurled by Rex Lapis all those years ago. But due to the different angles they landed at, their large centers of mass, erosion by seawater, and years of gravity. So besides wind erosion, the initial collapsing...
Well, a god able to fight one so powerful as Rex Lapis was certain...
Indeed. This is where the value lies in research at Guyan's. Most of the objects from that time were lost to the sea. But the gigantic waves created by the Overlord of the Vortex...
So you're saying that if we look carefully, we'll be able to get very... rich with archaeological knowledge and historical... Well, since we brought so many people, I think it would be best to
Okay then. I will go with my friend here. Although I have a...
Huh? Me?
What's the matter? This is your profession. Why are you so surprised?
I get it. I'll escort him then.
Okay. if we find anything valuable. The ancient god probably left behind lots of elemental marks. Following them should make our search much easier.
Well, go ahead then. Use your elemental sight to look for any marks. Boba, get them!
Hunt them down. Shit! Confess! Bring it on!
Why are there enemies here?
Guyan Stone Forest is a place where a god was defeated, and its remnants still affect the area to this day.
Life goes on.
A sharpshooter. Where evil lurks, shoot on sight. Loaded.
Get moving!
Ready. Loaded.
Together here. But why?
See that object in the center? Perhaps it emits the remnant strength of the god. That would certainly attract. But the hydromimic monsters. I have a contract. I must put my personal feelings aside. Go ahead. Defeat them. And
Yeah!
It's just a stone slab, but its design is quite unique. This should be enough to garner some information. Let's head back.
You call yourself a scholar of archaeology? You can't even
We all have our areas of expertise. I already tried very hard to.
Oh, stop arguing! What in the world?
This girl just keeps bragging about how she's an archaeologist. She left me to rely solely on guess.
I've just been researching the god of salt, so I'm not familiar with Sea Relic. And you kept asking about how much.
I mean, isn't measuring their value in.
Now, calm down. No need to make a fuss. We were able to... Oh, what a shame. These objects were indeed washed ashore by the Overlord of the Vortex, but they have nothing to do with the god besides being in the vicinity at the time. This stone slab we found, however, has a mysterious pattern and faint aura of divine power. Perhaps it will be useful for research purposes.
Quick, give it to me. At least we didn't come for nothing. The power of the gods, yes! This is good. Oh, but these other objects are certainly worth a little something, right? It should be enough to cover the cost of hiring you. It's all mine.
So, it's only valuable for
Not at all. My quest won't cover the history of the god of salt, but you're just trying to use archaeology to get rich.
Nonsense! I'm a professional archaeology researcher from Snezhnaya. I swear, if I'm lying, may the Lord of Geo strike me down.
Oh, by the way, you probably don't want to sell that teacup.
Oh? Why's that?
That's not an ancient teacup. It's part of Ningguang's collection. It must have fallen here along with the Jade Chamber. So unless you want to mess with the Qixing...
Ah, I see.
See? You do want to sell these objects!
But, so what? Why can't I pursue wealth both intellectual and material? All right then. No need to stay here any longer.
Race you!
I heard that Salterai was once the home of the god of salt's people. Therefore...
According to legend, the people of the god of salt, Havria, enjoyed prosperous lives under her protection. But this legend has been around for ages, with the countless scrap collectors and treasure hoarders in the area.
Oh, good. That's just great. If I knew it was picked this clean before, I wouldn't have come.
About that, I know there's a ruin deep in this cave here. It's related to the god of salt, which is actually... However, the ruin entrance has been sealed by I found a mechanism that seemed to be related to the seal, but... So at the moment, the seal's origin and how to break it, I don't know. There's no concrete evidence. The god of salt was a benevolent, so...
This doesn't sound like something the Lord of Geo would...
Who cares about all that? It sounds like
You weren't listening at all, were you?
Ah, but we have the illustrious Mr. Zhongli with us. He look...
This seal seems to be quite ancient. Even Mr. Zhongli may not know all of...
I may know something about it.
What?
Over the years, I've heard various rumors with bits of knowledge about seals. Let's go take a look at the
Okay, since Mr. Zhongli...
Go.
Shoot on sight! Ready. If these items are unclaimed, we may take them without controversy.
Faster. Here it is. There's some debris scattered here that, when put together, look like they definitely had to do with the god of salt. According to the inscription on the side, if one looks from a certain... See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another?
Let me lead the way from here.
This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. When I investigated the seal, but when we lit up all the elemental...
That's because you don't... The secret to this... Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingse in the north. Oh.
To the north, to the east. Do the people of Liyue always talk in riddles?
I think I've heard this saying, but...
Certainly you have. And the contents of... To provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by... At that time, with the chaotic fires of war, and that haven she eventually found is right...
How sad, then.
Okay, enough with these ancient stories. Now that we have the clue...
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingse in the north. With this clue, you should be able to solve...
Behold, the...
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingse in the north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try.
Sacred name, Fortune Preserver.
Loaded.
Look! The seal really was broken! Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
It was nothing, really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time. Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing between you two that we saw at Guyan.
Okay.
I propose you two agree upon a contract. To show my sincerity, I won't be...
Hey! Don't pass an opportunity like this up.
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the
I don't agree either. He will only...
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, I will no longer serve as your consultant on this expedition. You will have to rely on your own experience to...
You have the audacity to demand this!
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. If we discover the truth behind the god of salt...
I can accept this. Well then.
Is there time to sneak in some dim sum first?
Are these... statues?
No. These are people.
Ugh.
They were probably followers of the god of salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this room?
Crumble!
Look at this! It's filled halfway with salt.
Just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of...
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also forever half full.
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount in...
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt.
Finally, after all that effort, I've found precious... I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000...
Hey! How can you use a relic of the god of salt for such a shallow pursuit?
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next op...
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this?
Since we have a contract, it's no use.
Then let's move on, shall we?
Time to testify. Ready.
Right!
Just a simple ruler. It doesn't look to be worth anything.
This, if I remember correctly, this is some kind of measuring tool.
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued it with, when you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt, much like a rising tide covers the earth. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear.
That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler...
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should... And this girl has been useless! Why would...
Oh boy, here we go again.
So you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this... Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should...
Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, "Ones who break their contracts shall suffer the wrath of the rock."
That is one of your Liyue gods. I am from...
Will suffer the wrath of the rock. You may find it rather unpleasant.
Pay your dues, crumble!
I didn't feel that.
Sorry, pal.
Into the shadows.
So soon! This is order! Quake! No escape! Can't run from death.
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the ruin.
Oh, darn you! Just you...
Some archaeological... Yeah! Good thing Paimon can...
Clement's wrongdoing when people see the object of this, I think we should be honest.
Huh?
That in truth, not a...
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few. You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. I believe those legends about the god of
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and you're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land.
Oh, right! Now that you mention it...
During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of we hate him! But this is Morax's Liyue after all. So I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands and cruelty in his heart. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we?
Naturally, of course. But I must add, Liyue is no longer Morax's Liyue. Come with me. All the answers you seek lie ahead.
Crumble! Quake! Rise! Crumble! Quake!
Up to it, Monzai!
Hunt them down.
Wheel of life.
Crumble! Order guide you!
I'm the frying pan. It's...
Opening box of Adepti tricks.
This is... Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty
It does look like something...
2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective...
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true. But Clementis...
Yes. But the only one object per claim...
Zhongli is fighting over the treasure.
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not followed...
No! If I only take 1/2, then it can't be repaired. And no matter what. Even if it breaks the contract, I don't care.
So you are already decided? Then there is a price to pay for breaking the contract.
Zhongli!
That is to say, you consign yourself to suffer the wrath of the rock.
That's okay. The God of Salt, punish me however you want. Just let me take this proof of my faith.
No, you can't hit her!
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. As punishment, I will tell you the truth.
Huh? The truth? You mean the truth is my punishment?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her to be. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost, never able to win a seat.
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Tevat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the... However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances of aggressors. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one small haven.
No. No! It can't be so.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with.
Not even a single blade? Then... this sword...
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying to test my faith in the god of salt!
As I said before, I only state the facts.
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morax! Don't try to trick me!
Hey! Come back!
It is a punishment after all. I did not want to tell her such cruel facts. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There,
Are these statue thingies running? What will we find ahead?
Salt and betrayal.
What are all these? What did they see? What did they do? What happened?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all that happened back then. This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have... The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but weak god could never protect anyone in wartime. The Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought perhaps it would be better to give her a quick release.
But what about these statue thingies?
No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond the strength of mortal coils. To those who could not flee were those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue. Their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror that she had laid upon them an eternal curse. So they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword, and offer up obeisances in hopes, but they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted, even till the end, nurse hatred for her people?
Even if this is so, I can't! This must be a lie. A false history, all of it! Don't you dare try to shake my faith!
Yikes. Zhongli didn't...
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would not, judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. Indeed. In age, faith in a god who has already passed will do you no. So it is for Havria. And all right then.
Huh?
Treading old ground, telling old stories. One cannot help but be reminded of old acquaintances. Now, I mentioned before that many Adepti have presently handed Liyue over to mortals, and Havria's time was even further, and to leave them here is to let them slumber. And I ended an era with my own two hands. History records, but history may be changed. This incident proved that. I need to find a better way of recording history in order to engrave its truth. Stone carvings were one such ancient method, but unchanging stone, immovable earth, even one such as myself. Someday we may all...
Zhongli.
Therefore, I thought of you, traveler. You are one who crosses the celestial atlas, and who passes through countless worlds. As long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for time.
Sounds like...
Now then, it is time that we consigned both the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler to...
Why do we need to throw them into the sea?
As I said before, this is the place to which the remnants of many... This includes Osial, Overlord of the Vortex. Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folk tales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate.